Max spread.
That's a safeguard. Yes, it's a protection parameter. What does max spread actually tell us? To give you an example, if our spread widens past a predetermined threshold level,
right?
And even with this setting is absolutely essential for the impulse strategy, since we aren't comparing prices and we effectively protect ourselves if the broker's spread suddenly widens.
Yeah, right.
We're like, that's too much, we're not ready, we'll wait. And the second point is when there's very high volatility news, the spread widens. Yes, the signal might be great, but when your spread has widened significantly and the price has slipped and then the spread narrows, you need a huge move to reach profit because your trade opened at a very poor price. So we try to set a limit. That's the first point. The second point, which is important and for some reason others don't mention, I think they don't even know it. This is where you specify the maximum spread. For instance, you're trading with a broker who has a spread of 2. Well, let's take an index like the DAX, it's at 2. You know that when the broker enables a plugin, the spread then becomes 2.5 pips. Once you manually configure the spread to 2, and as soon as the plugin is operational at 2.5, the robot will effectively reject every single request, and you won't be taking those potential losses. That's basically it.
Based on the Intercontinental Exchange and gold. And if our spread there is exactly 0.2 right now, how much should we factor in here? If we were trading with impulse.
For the IC platform, I set it to exactly 50 cents. They sometimes have moments of extremely high levels of market volatility during news events, where the spread can reach as high as $2.50. And we just cut that part off. Anything higher, we cut it all off. That's
so for the impulse, we would enter 0.5.
5, yes. 0.5, because if it hits 2.5, even if it's a profitable signal and we could make money, it's all just a gamble.
So it's not worth risking up to 1.
Right?
I see. Looking at the data here, we can observe that we have reached the maximum number of losses for this specific scenario.
Yes, that is correct. It means we had 5 losing trades, 5 signals. There was a signal, we opened the trade, loss, 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 loss.
What happens after that?
The robot stops trading.
That's it.
It unchecks the box itself and indicates that
done.
It's a losing streak.
Set it to 3 losing orders and it will then...
I wouldn't do that. I usually recommend setting it to 5.
Yes, indeed.
Basically, when you have 5 losses in a row, there's a high probability that a plugin has been enabled. And it doesn't always mean one was enabled. You should always check other indirect factors, but it is possible.
Yes. In the last video I recorded, I showed that the market was calm, yet there were losses on the account for a while. Then everything went okay after a couple of days. Moving on to the next part, we have a checkbox. Impulse greater than spread.
Yes, that is exactly right. That is...
So, Ivan, I was actually thinking regarding the impulse being greater than the spread.
Yes, the primary way it differs from the maximum impulse is that the absolutely most critical factor to consider is that the impulse must never actually exceed the spread size. It is different from the maximum spread in that you could potentially be trading, for example, a different instrument. Well, for example, let's say you've chosen, for instance, the fast data source 1, but you're actually trading a completely different financial instrument. And the spread there can be very, very different. And so this parameter, it kind of protects you so that you don't just accidentally make a mistake. Well, let me explain this a bit more clearly. Let's use some much clearer language here. For instance, imagine you've set a very fast data source, for example, for gold, but you're planning to trade the euro-dollar pair. Well, you've misconfigured this. You've misconfigured the fast data source and the trading source you intended to use. Once you turn the system on and the signals begin to appear, the robot will start trading. But it will first check this specific parameter and see that the spread you are trading is much larger, for example, than the allowed spread. The spread is much larger than the fast sources, and it will simply postpone all those signals. And you accordingly will wonder, why is this happening? Well, if anything, will help you out. So it's like a kind of protection.
Yeah. Okay. So it's better if it's always turned on.
Yes.
Then below that, there's also min reverse impulse signal, which is the reverse impulse signal.
That is also specifically for protection. Yes, it's also for protection. Now take a look at this. What happens? What parameter do we recommend setting? Half of the regular signal.
Mhm.
If we have it set to
0.6.
0.6,
Yes.
go ahead and enter 3/10 there, or rather 4/10, let's say approximately. What's happening here? There's a concept called spikes when the price suddenly shoots up and immediately rolls back. To protect yourself.
Mhm.
And we did not manage to reach the take profit level, but also we want to avoid a loss equal to 3 spreads. We can clearly see that the price, after receiving an upward signal, suddenly reversed and showed a downward signal. At that moment, as soon as we see the downward signal, we close. We send the request as is, we close just to get out, because these are potential losses for us. That's it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So as a result, we always enter.
The 50 to 60% of the regular impulse. Yes.
In our case, we can also enter 0.4.
Yes, indeed.
Well, so okay then. And I think that's about it for the settings, right?
Yes. The next tab we have here is the strategy tab.
Strategies.
Note that there is a separate tab for every strategy that we trade. As you saw, we previously showed the viewers in 2-leg.
Yes.
There are quite a few more settings there.
Yes.
And 4 strategies,
And
selecting an additional broker, selecting an additional instrument, and the lot size. So it's much, much, much more complex, which is why we always say 2-leg is for professionals, those who already know what they're doing. Here's how it is here.
Here we see max locks, meaning we can have 2 different locks open right now.
Right? Simultaneously, 2 parallel locks.
For orders, but since they can't have the same lot size,
yes,
we have a lot step of 0.01.
Yeah.
Opens 0.01 higher.
Yes. So if for the classic one you have, well, we currently have 100th set available for you. Yes.
In
this parameter. That means after the robot sees there's already an order with 100th, the mechanism will open up with 200ths of a second. And that's it. There will be 2 parallel locks that will then be closed up.
And the pause between locks is set to just 1 second. What if I set it to 0? Can it be without any delays at all? So that it opens not 1, but 2 at once in the moment and takes more profit?
No, that's not what this parameter is for. This is the pause between locks. Once a lock has successfully opened,
1,
then closed on a signal. It doesn't matter how many. The pause between closing the previous lock and opening a new one is at least 1 second. You can set it to 60 seconds so that you don't have too many trades. For example, if you have a 60-second pause set.
That is correct.
We've set it to 180 seconds, 3 minutes.
Yes, that is exactly right.
This happens both within a lock and between different locks. And it will trade less frequently, and some people actually think that's better. I think 1 second between locks is enough. There's really no point in more than that.
Okay, so moving on, there is also the orders tab to consider. Within this section, you have the ability to manage your transactions by opening a new order and subsequently closing an order whenever you need to.
By default,
yeah, I see.
Most people don't need to go into this specific tab, but
don't go in.
Yes, let's be brief. In the majority of cases, such parameters are utilized specifically for the Fix API. Fix API has the option to set, and I think in MT4 and MT5 it's also there, closing your position not just at the current market price, but for example, to set up a specific stop loss or take profit. And if you decide to set a take profit or stop loss, exactly how long will the robot wait and then eventually remove it if it suddenly doesn't trigger as expected. This is the specific parameter that you set when opening a lock and when closing a lock. It's perfectly compatible with all strategies. So it's a comprehensive and universal formula, universal settings that work with all strategies. That is, you have both opening and closing, and it simply and carefully takes into account the exact settings you've specified.
I see. So if I go back to the trading settings, the basic ones, the most important part is still in the first chapter.
Yes.
In signal settings, I fully understand that the most critical element is to correctly calculate the impulse and the quotes difference.
Yes.
Right. So the complex impulse interval, we always set the base to 50. There. Well, depending on individual.
30-50?
30-50.
In this range?
Yes. Okay. We have the auto offset set to base.
Yes.
We don't touch it. Correct. We definitely need to calculate the stop loss and take profit. I mean, this is really important.
That is correct.
Also, for freeze time, we always set the base to 1000, as I understand. Right. For all. We enter 1000 and that's it. And don't touch it again. The trading lot belongs in risk. We start with the minimum and adjust it manually. If we want to relax, we set the auto lot and watch. We set the step and where to start. So as for break-even and trailing, well, that is for
a single individual.
Parameters if you want to trade with holding. The maximum spread is for classic and impulse. Yes, it is an essential requirement. So if you want to trade with direct arbitrage, you should use this feature. We don't uncheck the impulse more than spread box, simply leave that setting as it is. And for the minimum reverse impulse signal, we will typically take from 50 to 60% of the minimum signal impulse and input that specific value into this field here. Once that is done, these settings are quite enough to start trading and adjusting.
Yes.
Further. So after that, we click OK.
Yes.
That's it. The instrument has appeared. The status is stopped.
Yes.
If we want to start our trading, we simply click on the white square and our currently active trading session.
Yes, and the trading starts. Again, if the trading session time is suitable for us, this is the exact parameter we specified for this particular trading session. Next, we describe the settings, all the columns. This is first of all, we have
the broker that we carefully selected,
the name that
the trading instrument. Here we will have the spread
for this instrument, the bid for this instrument,
the strategy that.
Why do we need them? Why do we need these parameters? What about the first two parameters? Obviously, so we understand what we've launched. The spread is so we can check in real time if the spread has increased or not. The bid is needed, so we understand that the price hasn't frozen, that the connection is active, and that prices are changing. We can see that. Next, the trading strategy, balance, and equity. Many people ask us why we display and specify equity everywhere. Equity is the fundamental parameter of the balance. So when they tell us that balance is the main parameter, no, that's not true. The main parameter is equity, because equity takes into account all open positions. If you take the time to examine our detailed financial reports in more depth, you will notice what we call a certain fence effect. This occurs when the price fluctuates significantly, jumping up and down on various closed positions, even though the average median across all of them continues to move strictly and gradually upward. This happens because of the specific way our balance is structured, and I should remind you that there was a time when we actively traded AXI on the market. We had minus 26,000 on one account at one point when the price dropped significantly. But at the same time, our balance was almost 50,000 in profit.
Equity, yes.
Yes, on the balance. So you look at the balance, you have a negative account, you look at equity, you're up 20-something thousand. So it's important to take this into account. This especially needs to be considered only for hidden, smart hidden, and hidden plus strategies. So in classic, in impulse, in two-leg, it's impossible to properly view this because these parameters will show clear events because you don't have a lock. So you immediately see the final balance. That's it. That's probably all for that. We also have a language selection.
Yes, in the settings, clients ask.
No, the language selection is further to the right here. Yes, you click it so you can adjust it for yourself, for your language. It's not that it is strictly necessary, but for some, it's incredibly convenient, and quite a few people use it.
Also, we had a recent suggestion to incorporate additional proxy servers so we don't have to change VPS servers. Well, unfortunately, while it can be implemented,
it doesn't make much sense.
Again,
we've done a lot of experimenting with all of these different parts. It's just more of a gimmick. Because in our experience, it's much easier to simply rent a brand new server for $15 and then switch your operations over to it. Because when you are using various proxies and different IPs, you can very often accidentally make a critical mistake and end up using the exact same IP address by mistake. Ultimately, the broker will be able to monitor and see every single part of your trading activity. In our professional experience, there is absolutely no concrete or substantial evidence available to suggest that this approach provides any significant growth or much benefit to your operations. Consequently, we believe the best option is to completely change your current VPS provider and start interacting with a completely new one. The only thing that truly has a place here is the sophisticated two-leg arbitrage strategies. That is the primary reason why we are actually thinking about adding this specific functionality and feature set into our existing system. Because when you trade two different accounts for different clients with one single broker, yes, it makes sense. because management is on one IP address and you can switch. But so far, there is really no special need for it. I mean, people come and ask, it's just a toy. For us to have people talking about it widely or saying it's truly necessary, well, no, that is not the case.
And again, how about adding, see, I have a broker added here, I see.
Yes.
Yes. And what if I want to add Pepperstone now?
Well, first you simply add another account, and then we can go ahead and add it right here.
Simply use the right click,
Yes, add server.
and I simply add Pepperstone, right? After that, it connects automatically.
Yes.
Then here, and here I will also add it for that one as well.
Yes, you choose the source. You can now go ahead and type a different instrument here,
Well, I see.
like Eurodollar. Choose a different strategy and run them in parallel. You can have a list of several strategies with one broker and trade different instruments.
Can I trade with different brokers?
Go ahead, you can choose. We have clients trading with 5 or 6 simultaneously.
Brokers in one system, right?
All of this is integrated into one single system. And by the way, I almost forgot to mention, we didn't quite finish our earlier discussion regarding the equity. Here is also the state, the current status of this specific trading strategy. Right now, there is a status of waiting. That is when our trading session is closed, well, according to the timer, and we aren't actively trading. It says waiting there. Stopped is when trading has been halted. Close mode is when the closing mode is enabled. And we'll get to that in a moment. And trading, the next parameter, this little cross is to close. You can see all your active trades right here and now. So when a trading session is connected, you simply click on the cross icon and manually close trades without a signal if you need to close them. And the next C represents close mode. That's when you check this box. Closing mode is now active, meaning the robot will close any existing lock upon a signal and won't open new ones. In other words, it is finishing up its trading. If you need to, you can check the box and you are free to leave, because most likely the robot will just close it on signal and won't conduct any more trading.
Okay.
That's basically it.
To get started, we click right here, right?
In the first tab?
In the first tab, there's start and it will.
Yes. That's it. Trading is finally launched. If you click now, well, there's no point.
No.
To use this specific trading account, please note it is being very actively traded right now on our separate and dedicated external server. If we navigate over to the Profit tab and scroll down through the list, you can see the current trading details.
Oh, they added some shares there too, did you see?
Yes, those are unnecessary extra bonuses. Well, how much total profit do we have from all of this at the moment?
8841.
Yes, but to be perfectly honest with you, when looking at what we showed with IC markets, there is absolutely no volatility at this current moment. I mean, there are days when we can actually earn $20,000 or $30,000 in a day. Right now, this account has been running for about a day, but the market is on pause. As we discussed earlier, we have training, and there are market phases to consider. Right now, the market is waiting. We have this situation with Iran. Investors are afraid to bring in big money, and volatility has dropped significantly. As a result, our profitability is lower.
Yes, for the system, I mentioned in a previous video that we need a volatile market. The more it shakes, the more impulses we get, and the more we enter. Therefore,
that's how we make money.
Yes, right? I think the first part is coming to an end, and even this first part, I'll probably split into several more. We'll see how many I get during editing. So everything is as it is. We have discussed all of the parameters, and Ivan has explained each one. I think that in the very next video, we will take a look at some brand new account, perhaps a new account that Ivan already has, or maybe one that someone sends into us, and then we will set it up together with you. We'll set it up, configure all the parameters, and we'll trade specifically with you, dedicating one day to it. I think on a good volatile day, we'll be able to understand if we can make money with this broker or not, whichever one we have next. Ivan will definitely talk about some nuances and points to pay attention to. Yes, so if we missed anything, we'll definitely mention it again. And please ask your questions if there is any specific topic that still remains unclear to you, or if there is a particular subject you feel we should break down and dedicate more time to. We would be happy to explain it and show you everything.
Yes, I think in the video we'll show not only how we set up gold, but we'll also show indices and currencies. That is, we'll use examples to break down individual groups of instruments so that there's an understanding, because Everything is clear with gold. Everyone is trading it now, but the moment comes when everyone starts trading oil. Then everyone runs to trade currencies. When the crisis starts now, currencies will start to fly. And in those specific moments, this niche of financial instruments will be very volatile and very good for earning. So there are these recurring waves of volatility, and there are different groups of instruments. If you remember, we traded indices, and they could be traded very well indeed.
The index was always very volatile.
Yes. But there are periods of exceptional volatility when you can make much higher returns.
Of course, yes. And then everyone will switch to trading on Fix API, and we'll explain how to connect it.
Yes, and by the way, I think we actually missed this specific point. I'd like to briefly highlight it now for the sake of understanding. We have a list right here,
Right.
a long list, and it even goes further down.
Fix API, FCM, CTrader, and Finalto. These are the ones we can quickly use with ready-made presets. Just insert your data and trade with them.
Yes, that is correct. And we have another separate feature that for some reason a lot of people didn't know we had. It's called the clicker. In this field, you can type any of the names here, for example, and then simply click the OK button. And when it's turned on, turning on the clicker mode, you can simply add it right here in this section and begin trading by utilizing the clicker strategy. If you look a bit further down the page, if you select this, oh man, look right over there, exactly there. Select clicker. This section appears here.
Right.
This is where you set the size parameters and specify which closing mode we're using. There will be a separate video about this later on. We'll show you all the parameters and how to set them up properly. But the point is that
no instrument selected.
Oh, well, that is not a critical issue right now, and we can handle it later. So you can go ahead and use our built-in clicker function. If you have a web terminal, you can trade those too.
Yes. Or options. A lot of people
trade whatever you want.
Yeah, the options are quite simple. Again, with options, a lot of people actually trade them like Forex. They trade Forex on
options.
That's right.
Options, by the way, are an entirely distinct niche, representing a whole different layer of the market. Many people mistakenly believe they aren't susceptible to arbitrage. However, I can guarantee that they are, especially when it comes to news arbitrage. But trading them remains a whole separate segment with its own specific conditions.
I even have a video saved somewhere where I was trading options on a Forex option. It was some instrument, but I forget which one it was now.
Yeah.
If I happen to find it, I'll definitely link it right over here on the side so you can see what it looks like. Usually there are just two buttons, buy and sell.
And the expiration time.
That's basically it. You just move it. Well, expiration time, yes. And another button you have to move to close the order, the little cross at the bottom.
The cross is for classic trading. Binary options use a countdown timer.
Yes, I know. I'm saying you can trade regular Forex through options.
Yes, you can trade Forex too by using the integrated web terminal directly.
Right.
Yes, it's very convenient. Many people tend to overlook this detail, but to be fair, this point is actually absolutely crucial for your success. Why? Because many brokers are simply not well prepared for people trading through their web terminal. They lack plugins and aren't used to people using arbitrage strategies, meaning fast. We have a function to open and close positions very quickly, and it's not even manual, it's all completely automated, and many don't realize it. I'm talking about the brokers. This allows you to earn consistently and withdraw large amounts. So there are these specific advantages, but for some reason, everyone forgets about this. That's why I'm bringing it up right now.
Yes, it's a good strategy. The clicker is a really handy tool. Also, regarding support, we didn't mention it earlier. We've only talked about MetaTrader 4 and 5. But there's also the Fix API that we demonstrated.
Yes.
There's the clicker. Plus, you saw in the list, we also have CTrader available.
Yes, CTrader is there. We have a lot of options there.
So the system supports a wide variety of platforms.
You can connect Coinbase, Bybit, or Binance as sources. You can use Rhythmic or the LMX API. So we have a huge selection of things that can be traded. And with all that, you can use it as a source for fast quotes, and you can trade there too. So the platform itself, over these years that we've been developing and building it, all the connections we created, we integrated all of it into one platform. And this platform allows you to interact with a huge number of quote sources at once. It's just that most people, for some reason, think that everything is limited to MetaTrader 4 and 5. Guys, we made good money on CTrader and we made money on Fix API. There is often much more money in Fix API than in MetaTrader. Umani Piducino, I won't even mention the crypto exchanges. When you can actually set up or find a regarding the connection, and I'll tell you a little secret, Bybit and Binance and other exchanges have now added CFDs, and now they have gold and they have market indices and they have various stocks and they even have their own spreads, and there are certain delays that you can also trade.
We have an interactive module here too, right? We can use it as a fast one.
Interactives here.
But for interactive brokers, is it available via Fix API?
Well, they have Fix API. They have Fix API, but it's bad.
Difficult, guys.
It lags for them and the platform even freezes.
And their own terminal is unpleasant.
Oh, yes, it is. They're like Bloomberg, totally stuck in the 90s. Yes, that's true.
Good. So I suggest that we take a bit of a short break on this video for now, wrap things up for now, and there will definitely be a next video coming your way very soon.
Yes, we can also talk about CTrader separately, how to connect via Fix API, via API, and just gather all these layers separately, meaning both on plugins and on regulatory frameworks. We'll just break everything down into segments and publish them for everyone.
That is excellent. Then thank you all for watching. Please continue to stay tuned with us, ask your questions, and we will answer everything and show you everything. We wish successful orders to everyone. Yes, bye everyone.
Profits to everyone. Goodbye.